All right. Welcome, 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 everyone. Thanks for joining us here at the Post-Maafa Reconstruction. We are here live every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Arizona Mountain Standard Time. I am the Jati, Tahuti Forever. I am the architect of MelaNation, which is an app that will be releasing in 2027. Miss Lizzie Woody. She joins me every week, and I really appreciate your presence here. Please introduce yourself.
All right. This is Lizzie Woody. Many years here in Arizona, probably pretty close to 40 years. And my journey is connecting with our folks, our Black folks, letting us know what's going on, where, when, how, by whom, and that's what I do. That's what MelaNation is all about. You know, getting that information out to our community so that you can be a part of what is happening and you can benefit from it as well. So, welcome.
Shay, I just put up our business card. So our webpage where you can visit right now is melanation.co. That's melanation.co. We can also be found on YouTube at MelaNation App. We can be found on Facebook at MelaNation App. We ask that you do join us on Facebook. We have a beautiful messenger community through Facebook, through Messenger, where we're in communication with the different people, different members who are supporting our app. And if you feel the calling, you can donate to MelaNation at the Cash App, which is $MelaNation App. So we're here today to discuss information about the company going forward. We are starting to receive portions of our app, which is not public information, but we're starting to receive portions of the app where we can start to test certain features. The first downloads to the app will be next month. So next month we'll have the very first actual live features of the app. So we're excited about that. But for now, you can go to our webpage, which is melanation.co. I'll go ahead and play a brief commercial for MelaNation just to show you exactly the different features that we're creating.
The emergence of an inspired event is now on the move, requiring all hands on deck. So here is why you should share. We have substantially invested in a systematic approach to Black economics. Our mission is to empower and uplift our community, both online and in the physical world where birds fly. Interestingly, your monthly vote steers the direction of the company. Introducing MelaNation, a cutting-edge TV and an internet platform. It's making its way to the world stage with over 400 pages of state-of-the-art features. Features include movie streaming, a production studio for influencers where your production will be displayed through the television, a dating site that can be accessed through the TV, a Google Maps-powered satellite mapping system for registered Black-owned businesses and entertainment, making it easier for you to locate the community near you, and much more. We're bringing everything the community needs under one roof in order to build the proper infrastructure across the nation. Learn more on the Facebook page, family. The time is now for your participation.
So that is our brief commercial, just to give you a little information about what's going on, what the app is about. Ms. Lizzie, let's tell our audience about our mission, the different things that we are attempting to accomplish for the community and by the community. You know, I like to tell everyone that we're here to listen, and we're here to address different needs that the community may have. We're an ecosystem designed around melanated people to uplift melanated people. We have many, many goals. We have very big goals, big dreams. And as we accomplish each goal, we're planning on expanding. But the reason why we're here, the reason why the company exists, is so that we have a place, a house, we have a bucket, we have a place where everyone can come to and find resources. Not only just resources, but we also offer entertainment, and we offer just the community experience where everyone can gather in and pour into one unit to become unified and stronger. Ms. Lizzie, is there any features or any ideas or concepts that you would like to tell our community that you're proud about as far as MelaNation is concerned? Like, what area are you mostly uh, in tune with?
Well, as I said, I've been around here for many, many years. And the one thing that I feel that we are missing is how do we get to the people? How do we let people know what's going on in the community? When, just an example, if I ask someone on the street or some people I know, um, have you ever heard of this or have you ever met this person or whatever? And when they say no, that started my curiosity as, I'm finding a lot of people are saying no that I expect them to say, oh yes, I've heard about that and I know about it. So my thing is we have to find a way to make sure that the community is aware. And by doing that, MelaNation brings that hub, that ecosystem to where we're putting it out. Come to MelaNation, you're going to find what you are looking for. If we don't have it, we'll have to get it and make it happen for you. That's what MelaNation is. It is a name that you can put to action. You need it, let us know. If we can't find it, somebody does, someone else might have it, but we'll connect you to that. But another thing is you got to let us know what's going on in the community that, you feel is important to the community. And by doing that, that means you have to be a part of, join MelaNation. You don't have to do anything, just join. That makes you family. That means that we're going to communicate to you. You're going to know what's going on. So remember the name, MelaNation App.
Ashe, you said a few very, very powerful statements. The one that I would like to focus on is the fact that you said, if we don't have it, we'll find it. Well, that's very important because you can't expect 100% no flaws in any type of system, right? Especially if you're just starting off, there should be expectations of a learning curve. So when we very first launched the app, yes, it'll have some very exciting features on there. You can log on and be very entertained. You can watch movies. There's a lot of different tools that you have at your disposal. But our purpose and our mission is to create an ecosystem similar to Black Wall Street, where Black Wall Street was able to keep the money within their ecosystem and everybody benefited because everybody became richer because the dollar stayed in everyone's pocket. I bought from you, you bought from me, and no one ever lost any money. The money that was coming into Black Wall Street stayed in Black Wall Street and did not leave. So it was just a community of people gaining. And that's the point. So what you said that was very important was the fact that if we don't have it, that's fine. But our mission is to go out and get it. Whatever we're lacking, if we can identify a lack and the lack itself is something deemed worthy to invest in, then yes, we're going to go out and we're going to invest in that so that lack no longer exists. We're going to patch any holes in the leaky boat that we can find. So that was something that you mentioned that I thought was very powerful, that the community definitely needs to be aware of, that we're going to continue to grow and expand. And we're growing in the direction of the community. We're not growing in a direction of some kind of selfishness. We're growing in the direction of community needs to address the community needs. So one of the things that we really need is participation from our community.
Absolutely. And another thing that I would like to just add to that is there's a lot of people out there doing things, to help get information out to the community. We're not saying that no one is doing anything. We want to be a part of helping you do that, and you can help us by, let's kind of combine our efforts to make it to where you're going to reach a larger number of people with more people out there doing this. We're not competing. We're not competing with anyone. Why would we?
Okay. So the expectations, we are expecting, again, our first downloads of the app internally next month. That's what we're expecting. We're expecting to continue to receive different features and update and test the app up until September 15th, 2027, at which point we'll be able to go live. And once we go live, we'll be live on the Google for Androids, we'll be live on Apple for Apple users, and you'll be able to download the app to your television. So that's what we're expecting. At this point, I'll go ahead and I'll show you the mock version that we received of the app itself.
Shape the direction.
One second. Yeah, here we are.
And see, you are a part of the build of this, the app. You're going to see it as we grow, as we go.
Shay, this is true. Everyone needs to feel at home and a part of this community, because we're investing in you. We're investing in becoming a global family where we can address our own needs. We're going to clean up our own backyard. We're going to become better because we're together. So if you can see, this is a mock version of the MelaNation app. Here is the home screen. Miss Lizzie, if you can verify the time. I don't want to go past 6:30. 6:30, okay. I want to make sure that, we're on time. So on the very top, I'm not sure how well this screen is being shown, but this is the largest I can make this screen. On the very top, you see the MelaNation symbol. This symbol gets you to the features of the app. So if I click this symbol, you'll see there are many features of the app. On the top left, it says funds. Below that, it says events. Below that is MelaDating. Below that is business ads. Below that is leaderboard. Below that is messaging. Below that is courses. Below that is subscriptions. Below that is family tree. When you look on the right side of the list, it's MelaMarket, employment, delegates, MelaNews, empires, find allies, virtual map, and ballot. So it will take a while for me to explain all the different features, and we don't have enough time to go into every single feature. Is there any particular feature, Ms. Lizzie, that you would like me to go into? Earlier we were talking about the news, MelaNews, but any feature you would like me to go into is fine.
What about the delegates?
Delegates, okay, so I'm gonna, on the right side, third row down, it says delegates. So when I click on delegates, you're now able to see where the list of delegates would be. If I click on criteria on the top, it explains that the delegates must be verified. On the very top, it says must be premier members and verified. What that means is we're not allowing any non-melanated people to become delegates. You have to be a melanated person to even run or apply to become a delegate. So there is a verification process to verify that you're a melanated person before you can run for office or run for delegate. It also says they must combine monthly budget of 10% or lower. So there is a budget. It's not an actual budget. This is a stimulus. So the app is going to produce funds, and from those funds that the app produces, we're going to give the money to the delegates. It's going to be a stimulus amount on a monthly basis. They'll be able to view the stimulus amount up to 3 months in advance. So they'll know how much money they have to invest in the community 3 months in advance. Every year, the delegates must run for office again, unless they have reached an average of 85% of public satisfaction. So what that means is, let's say, Miss Lizzie, you're our delegate. You have a term of 12 months. If your satisfaction rate is over 85%, you do not have to run again the next year. You automatically remain a delegate. So the things that keeps your satisfaction rate up are the 3 criteria that we've been talking about. We're going to look to see if you've created new jobs for the community. We're going to look to see if you've created a new stream of income. And we're going to look to see if you've offered community services. Based on those 3 criteria, you'll be evaluated. And there's people who does the evaluation are called assessors. So those assessors will give you an evaluation number. And as long as it's above 85%, at that point, when your term is up, you'll just be reelected without having to go through the process again. This guarantees that we maintain the proper people in leadership. We want to have the best quality people. We want to make sure they're doing their job and they're impacting the community like they should. The 4th point down, you can stop me at any point, Miss Lizzie. I'm just going in.
Go on.
Okay, so the 4th point down is that the delegates will be assigned individual states where they're in charge of understanding the needs and acknowledging what's going on in individual states. So as a delegate, you will be assigned a state or 2 or 3 states. The 5th point down says must manage an administration department as well as another 12 departments. So MelaNation has 12 departments. These departments are designed so that we can have certain focus groups. We want to be able to focus on certain areas. We want to be able to focus on things such as the news, or focus on social services. That's another department. So any departments that we have, one of those departments will be assigned to the delegates as well. The delegates are required to report their finding for the week to the news, to the MelaNews department. MelaNews is one of the departments, and the delegates must report to MelaNews so that we can inform our community on MelaNews what is going on within the company. And again, criteria is must create jobs, so that's the 6th or 7th one down. Must create new streams of income, must offer community services. This point is must report to 20 assessors. Again, the assessors are the people who are assessing or evaluating the delegates. Assessors are the people who are on the top of the leaderboard. So the next screen I'll go into is the leaderboard. But every delegate will have 20 assessors evaluating their performance. And these assessors are people, are normal users who are so engaged in our community that they've gained recognition on the leaderboard. And because they're on the leaderboard, they now have the ability to gauge or to assess the leadership of our company. So you become an assessor again by rising to the top of the leaderboard. You get to the top of the leaderboard by interacting in the community, using the app more frequently than other people. Next, it shows that delegates can swap states. Next, it shows how they earn funds. They earn money from the investments that they make. And they can get bonuses for public satisfaction. So let me go ahead and back out of the delegates. Oh, so on this page, you can see that the contact card of the delegates, we should be able to message them through the contacts. You can go to their complete profile through the contact card and see their term. You can see what year they're in and what month they're supposed to be being reevaluated, what states they're assigned to. You can see all this on their contact card. You can run, on the bottom it says run as delegate. As long as you've met the criteria, you can run. All you have to do is click the button to run as delegate. And that's the basic information for the delegates. But let's go over to the leaderboard. Here's the leaderboard here. And this is what that looks like. The top 3 people on the leaderboard is shown highlighted. You can click on the people who leads for the month, who leads for the year, who leads for all time. You can click on the region, whichever region you're in. You just want to see the people on the leaderboard in that region. But the numbers on the side are determined by their interaction. So every time you make an interaction on the app, you get credit for different interactions. So that credit will put you on this leaderboard, and it'll tell you, let's say you have 1,000 points, and it'll compare everyone else to you, how often they're on there. This one says Doris Sanders has 14,650 points, and Doris Sanders is 7th down on the leaderboard. Now, I want you to understand that we have 42 delegates. 42 delegates, 40 of them will have assessors. They'll have 20 assessors each. So that means there's 800 people on this leaderboard who will be asked to assess the delegates. So as long as you're in the top 800 on this leaderboard, you'll be given an option to become an assessor. That's something that's totally optional. So we have the collective leaderboard on top, but to the right of it, we have leaderboard prime. The leaderboard prime is, I'm hearing a little static. Let me take off this static here.
You have about 5 minutes.
Okay. I'm hearing a little static, Miss Lizzie.
Okay, let me do that.
Perfect. Okay, so we have the collective board. The collective board is for every single person who's downloaded the MelaNation app. They will be on the collective board. The prime board, this is only for the users who have verified that they are melanated. If you are a melanated user, you can verify and become part of the prime board. Now, the people on the prime board are the only people who can become assessors of the delegates. If you're in a collective board, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can become an assessor. You have to be a melanated user, you have to verify, you have to be on the prime board, as well as being the top 800 on the leaderboard. So let me go ahead and click off of this leaderboard. I don't think I have too much more time. I have 4 minutes left. Let's go into one final feature. Let's see. Well, we'll just do the dating. We'll do dating. So you'll be able to date through the app. You'll be able to see, click on the person who you might be interested in, contact card, and you can see how often they're on, how interactive they are with the community, where they are on the leaderboard. This is also going to be video stream, so they'll be able to, instead of being catfished, you'll be able to see them live. And we should be able to also see this through the television. So you'll be able to see them live, the live videos through the television. So that's a beautiful thing. I'm not too familiar with other apps that you're able to see on the television. Let me go ahead and click back over. I believe we may have our guests may have joined us. Give me one moment to click back over here. And let me stop sharing because we have almost reached the time here. So Lizzie, what do you think about what I've presented thus far? Let me unmute you, Miss Lizzie.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself, and I guess you were trying to unmute me as well. No, I think it's, I was wondering, I'm saying, where did you get all of this from? This is just the beginning.
Yeah. It's over 400 pages, so it will take us forever to actually get through the entire app. But we're just piecing away one piece at a time. But, we want to encompass all the needs that we have, all the needs that are in the community. We want to make sure that, we're addressing these needs.
And we were just talking about the delegates. I mean, that probably is not the extent of, what they are capable of doing or will do.
Exactly. Our goal is to create leadership, proper leadership, and also fund the leadership, and also give the leadership the tools that they need as far as staffing, so that they can come up with the concepts, the best concepts, that's going to impact our community. So we're basically creating our leadership, as well as giving the staffing and the funding so that they can make the decisions on our behalf. That's the concept behind the delegation.
Well, we got 1 more minute.
Yes. So yeah, we OBFC hasn't joined us as of yet, but I expect them to be on pretty soon. So meanwhile, I went off the app itself because I can't see our live while I'm streaming the app. So someone did come on, log into the back screen for a second, and I just wanted to see who that was. But yes, this is definitely a major app, something that's going to be impact our community in a major way. For the time being, let me go ahead and pull up our MelaNation homepage. So this is the MelaNation homepage. Mela Community is a powerful all-in-one platform designed to connect, empower, and elevate the global melanated community. From networking to business growth to content, events, and opportunities, everything live in one ecosystem. Mela Community is not just another social media app. It's a digital nation where culture, commerce, and collaboration come together, whether you're a creator, entrepreneur, professional, or a community leader. This home is for you. Mela News is an instrument for the Post-Maafa Reconstruction, which begins with narrative sovereignty. After centuries of displacement, extraction, and distortion, our first responsibility is to reclaim the power to define our reality for ourselves. Reconstruction cannot occur while our stories are being told by outsiders, filtered through hostile systems, or reduced to spectacle. A people disconnected from their own narrative cannot coordinate their future. Now, we've discussed in this session delegates. MelaNation is digital representation of the conscious community, placing the fate of the community back in the hands of the community itself. To achieve this, MelaNation is governed by a community of delegates chosen directly by the people. Leadership cannot be appointed from above, nor concentrated in isolation. Delegates are selected through collective decision-making, funded and staffed by the community, and empowered only to the extent that they produce measurable positive impact. Like we mentioned, that they have to maintain the 85% in order to stay in office and not have to be re-elected. Mela Movies. We utilize entertainment as a strategy gateway to reach the community at large. Culture draws us in, but consciousness keeps us together. Through shared stories, music, and creativity, we gather the people, transforming attention into alignment and participation into purpose. Galvanizing the community is not a slogan, it's a mechanism of empowerment. So if we don't have our guests log on, what we'll do is we'll go back and share more of the actual app itself. But we have reached our segment. Let's see. Okay, so at this time, I will just go back into sharing the actual, well, we're going to present the face of the app so everyone knows what it looks like again. One moment. Welcome, Javion. Are you there? Okay, so let me go ahead and share the screen again here. Welcome, welcome, Thurston.
Peace and blessings, brother. Can you hear
Peace
me
and
okay?
everything's going all right. How's your day going?
Amazing, amazing.
Yay! Hello there. This is Lizzie Woody.
Hello, peace and blessings.
Thank you.
We were just sharing the app. I'm not sure if I've spoken to you personally. I know we've interacted several times. Actually, we were just on Facebook talking about one of those.
I can hear you.
You can't hear me. Miss Lizzie, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your mic is off. I mean,
My headphones are not working.
Tahuti, your mic is off.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
Gosh. Mr. Bilal in the house.
Yes, ma'am. What's going on with everybody? How y'all feeling?
Can't complain. I'm feeling pretty good. Thurston is saying that he couldn't hear me. Are you able to hear me, Bilal?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, Thurston, how are you on the audio?
It sounds good.
Oh, so he can hear now?
No, I don't think Thurston can hear us. But yeah, Bilal, I appreciate you coming on. Definitely bringing the brothers on. We're just waiting for everyone to join in. Are we expecting the more of OBFC in the building?
Yeah. I hopped on the pod.
You muted yourself. You're muted
Okay.
now.
Yeah, my bad, y'all. Trying to multitask and do everything. Can you run that back one more time for me?
I was just asking if we're expecting other members of OBFC to join in.
Nah, let's go ahead and knock it out. If the brothers are able to join in, then that's great. If not, me and Thurston can handle. We can hold it down.
Rocket, ticking, and talking. It sounds good to me. So let me just ask, how did this this group form?
Peace and blessings. We're gonna get started right off top. Tell us the origin story. So in short, I used to do music faithfully as a career. That's what I wanted to. At one point in time, that's what I strived for. And when I took a step away from music completely, I had an opportunity to just not pursue it, be a fan. It was a great time in my life, but I wanted to still be able to connect with my brothers that I felt I was connected to through music. And I realized there was one other thing that pretty much we were all connected with, and that's we had some sort of relationship with fatherhood. Either our fathers weren't present when we grew up, maybe some of us were fathers and young fathers and struggling with how to navigate that space. So I said, I'm gonna get back to it, but I'm gonna bring us all together as fathers. So we came back to it. I called Crondo because me and Crondo, we did music before I stopped doing music. We was in the same group together. So, I hit him up and just kind of like, went over some of the details. And from that point on, we started studying. I through my journey, I'd also got my hands on some literature, some RBG literature from some of the founding chapters. So we started studying it. We went into a deep knowledge of self type of study group, which we also invited my brother, LO, as well as my young brother, Sky Harbor. We had a couple other brothers as well that was in that study group, but from that study group, at the end of it, we decided, like, as a celebration, what can we do to keep this thing going or add some momentum to it? And just come to find out, we all got the background in music. So here we go back to the music, you know what I mean? Which was actually perfect because now we're stepping back into the music with a different mentality. We are able, me personally, I'm able to enjoy hip hop and give something of value to it, right? So we dropped our first single, which is titled Plant Seeds. It was a viral hit, and it still is. For everybody that still hears it for the first time, they still love that particular track. It's a track about fatherhood, and you don't really get to hear that type of music that often. And it's celebrated, Black fatherhood specifically. So if anybody that's out there listening, if you get an opportunity, go check out Plant Seeds by Our Black Fathers Committee. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube as well. But yeah, check that out. From that point on, we just continued to kept growing. Start mentoring a lot. I started mentoring the youth as well. So that we picked up that part and that skill, that responsibility of the journey in about 2016, 2017 or so. And then from that point on, we just been consistently building and growing and getting better as an organization. And then that's how we got up to this point right here. I'm trying to fit a lot into a small space right there, but I think briefly that could kind of give you the origin.
Right, and that's really interesting. It's not something that I expected to hear. I expected you guys had a love for music, and you guys, ran across each other, liked each other's style. Because, here in OBFC, you guys each have a very unique take and unique style approach to music and your lyrics. So I thought maybe you guys came together on the music, but you said, no, that was just a tool that we use after the fact. That's a beautiful statement. So you came into the community because of specifically to address a need in the community.
Yes, sir.
That's a beautiful statement. So yeah, I wouldn't have imagined that. Let me bring in Javon. Hey, welcome. Peace, brother.
Respect and gratitude.
So we were going over the OBFC superhero origin story. And I'm being enlightened to the fact that the origin of OBFC has nothing to do with music. That's a powerful statement, because you using music specifically as a launch pad and a tool to address the need that the community has as far as being Black fathers. So,
yes, sir.
That's a very beautiful statement.
Yeah, and also, like I said, it allows me, particularly in this stage right now, to appreciate music more, the art. Before I was in music for the sport, right? But now I'm in it for the art, to be able to express, to be able to teach, and it makes it, the creating feels a lot better now.
Ashe. Thurston, I want to just verify that you're now getting our audio.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, yep, loud and clear. I can hear you good.
Welcome. So the question I have now, you've kind of addressed that, Bilal, as far as how the origin of the people came together and then found music. But why is the community important? Let's ask that as a direct question. Why is the community important to you?
Me specifically, or us as an organization?
I definitely like to hear from you, Bilal, because you seem very powerful, and when you explain things, it's very impactful. But any member of OBFC can answer the questions as they come out.
Well, I would say the community is important to me. But for one, that's where I reside in. For two, through knowledge of self, I've learned the Sankofa principle, right? And the Sankofa principle is to acknowledge, honor, and observe our ancestors and the work that they've done, right? While also acknowledging, honoring, and respecting the work that we're doing now. So because of that, I feel the responsibility to serve the community that's been able to enlighten me, to give me a more peaceful life, but also to support me. So there's the same community that supports me is the same community that I feel that I'm indebted to. So, and then again, it goes back to my original purpose, and I feel is to serve two things. One is to address fatherhood, to continue to ignite the powerful torch of fatherhood, because that's what is going to help guide our families. And then from there, the family as a whole, but then after that, the children, specifically the young men. So that's what's important to me, and it's important to me because men are not just part of we're the leaders of our families, if that makes sense. Well, I know it makes sense, but for those who need more of an explanation, Black men are and should be honored and respected, motivated, and encouraged to stand on fatherhood. That's what's going to take us to the next stage in this journey.
Ashe. Javion, sir.
Yeah, number one, I would say definitely what he said, but also like we all we got. You know what I mean? Like if nobody is going to have our back, it's going to be our community. If there's somebody who we should look out for, it's our community. So it's all about family. It's all about doing what's right for our people, right? Putting our people first, and wanting that same thing reciprocated, looking out for each other so we can progress. That's why in community is important. It's all about progression for us.
And let me also ask you, what's your superhero origin story as far as joining OBFC? How did you get involved?
So back in 2000. So I'm originally from California, from Northern California. I moved out here about like 2014, 2015. And maybe around 15, 16, I think I probably saw Bilal for the first time online, and I just saw the work that he was doing. And I always told him like, hey, I want to get down. I want to, start doing the work with you. But I lived in Santan Valley for a few years, and Santan Valley, that's like 8 hours away. I wasn't trying to make that drive. But I would always tell him for maybe like a year straight or so, like, I'm gonna pull up one of these days. And we met at one of his events. I went to his event. What was it? I forgot what it's called. Was 2015 or so? The reconstruction,
rebranding of the Black Man Summit.
Yeah, rebranding of the Black Man. I think that's where we probably officially met in person. And for a few years, I was saying that I was going to pull up. And so I ended up going through a divorce. Sold the house, moved. Well, not sold the house at the time, but moved from Santan Valley into civilization, aka Mesa. So I was now in the vicinity to pull up. And so I showed up to one of the Fight for Life Saturdays, and I just never left. I didn't tell them I was coming. I didn't ask to be invited. I didn't say, hey, can I stay? I just showed up on a Saturday and just never left. And then of course, he was still doing OBFC at that time, so it was just natural for me to, not only work with Fight for Life, but also be tied to OBFC as well. And so that was about 2018, 2019. I've been rocking ever since. With a great group of men. I always say this, no matter who I'm talking to, I've always been blessed, no matter where I lived. Like I said, I'm from California, so Northern California. I got a set of friends in Northern California. I have a set of friends in Sacramento, the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and now Arizona. And I always find myself around some good people. You know what I mean? And this situation is no different. These are some very good brothers, and I couldn't ask for a better group of brothers to be a part of this circle.
Ashe. So Dr. and Reverend Thurston. That's a lot of titles in front of that name. Those are some heavy titles right there.
Yeah.
There.
Happy when you do the work.
We had a little audio issue, so we didn't get a chance to get you to introduce yourself. If you can introduce yourself, also explain how you became part of the OBFC.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So my name is Dr. Raymond Thurston Smith here. I'm a social behavior specialist. I actually got part of OBC. I met a long time ago doing music. We did a show, I believe it was in Tempe. Um, I forgot the venue, but it changed names so many times. And then once we did a show there, we just connected, and they invited us to perform at the show that they're actually hosting. And I know the name of that, Mangoes. So I still remember the name of that. We performed at Mangoes, and I just had a real good time.
Yep.
And for me, I'm originally from Florida, and I just moved out to Phoenix. And so when I moved out to Phoenix, I only knew, East Valley. So when they invited me to go to the West Valley, it was a whole new, different culture shock. It was like, oh man, you got a chicken wing place right here to the side. You got everything. I felt like the culture, and I feel like, oh, these are my family too. It's just that it's just different, a different culture. It's just they might say things differently. In Florida, they ride big dunks. You might like low riders and big dunks. Cause I noticed the difference from each side, from the west side to the south side. It's just very much felt like family to me. And then from there, we just connected, stayed friends. I showed up, showed support. And when Blau was doing his father's meetup in 2015-16, I just had my son. My son was just living with me. So I saw it, and I just went, pulled up, and I've been there ever since, just showing up to the events. Because this is actually the information that I needed at the time for me to be a better father. And so no one was actually having any type of events like this. And it was great seeing friends of mine, people that I know, was talking about this. So I was like, it made me more open to come down there and support. And then when I went there, it's all the same people that I was going to do music with, that I knew from the time I met them when I first moved out here to Arizona in my early 2006, 7, and to now at that point, almost 10 years later, to be speaking to fathers, helping doing the work with fathers. And so from there, I just continue staying, doing the work, helping the community as much as possible.
Beautiful. So, yeah. Bilal, well, actually, Thurston, I wanted to mention some of those events that I've been, coming to, because you mentioned the atmosphere and how beautiful the event is, and just being able to have fellowship with like-minded people. And I definitely appreciate OBFC for creating those experiences. They're actually life-changing experiences, especially being in Arizona, where you don't have so many events on that level. So it's definitely Black excellence that we need to uplift OBFC.
Yes.
So Bilal, who are the members, the entire group of OBFC?
I'll name them. No, it's myself, Brother Crondo, Brother Javion, Brother Nakia, Brother Thurston, Brother L.O., and Brother Sky Harbor.
Ashe.
So it's about 7 of us?
Yeah, you got to carry the one.
Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, but there's also those are some of the let's just like say if we had like a board, those are the internal positions, right? But OBFC is a community organization, and that's why it's titled Our Black Fathers Committee, because it's not just for us, it's for everybody. So there's other brothers that we're connected to, and even other organizations that we could say, oh yeah, they're part of OBFC as well. But who's having the meetings and coordinating the events and the ideas and the mentorship and those things will be those 7 individuals that I just named.
Understood. So it's an organization. So I can join. Let me can I get in on OBFC? Hold on.
That's crazy. I thought you was already like part of it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
like,
you know what?
I never, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you got to get jumped in though. We take it
old school
rules.
So let's tackle one of these subjects that's kind of an elephant in the room, because we want to address the community. We want to support the community. There's issues in our community, and we keep using the term community, but what does that mean? How do we identify us? Let's get in.
So you kind of cutting out. You say, how do we identify what now?
Who we consider to be the community.
Well, I feel that question a lot. I think that the community is one of those, it's like over romanticized words now. We don't really quite understand what we're saying. We use it as a filler word. It's like a filler word now, right? Community, common unity. So I think community is different for everyone. When I say community, I'm not talking about like District 5 where I live in, you feel me? I'm talking about like the like-minded tribe that I intentionally go out and connect with, that I intentionally hold myself accountable and responsible for how I carry myself and what actions I move forward with and which ones I don't move forward with. That community, that's the community. That's what I'm talking about as far as community. You know what I mean? It's really about like minds though. And for me, it also doesn't take much for us to, I just need a little ounce of like care, for a lack of a better word. Just show me that you have an interest for the love of Black people or yourself, right? And then everything after that we could figure out. If you like the ideologies, all of that, that's just good conversation and just sharpening the spear. You feel me? I think we let too many of those additions or whatever, like adjectives, I guess.
Right.
Those they divide us when it's unnecessary. You feel me? My like minds are those who love themselves and their people. And then from there, we can figure everything else out.
Okay.
May I ask, what is your mission and your purpose? Is that a valid question?
Javion, that was on you. I gotta eat this last piece of candy.
Again?
Your mic is muted, Javion.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say we uplifting the youth, through community engagement, mentorship, right? And just being there for our people. That's our mission and that's our goal. You know what I mean? We put our people first, through the events that we do. We do a lot for the young men. So our mission is just overall just empowerment, and also of course Black fathers too. Black fathers as well. So just uplifting the youth, uplifting Black fathers, and just empowering our people.
And also, how do you get the young men? Where do you get them from? In other words, to mentor?
So a lot of different ways. Number one is word of mouth. We've been doing this for quite some time. Bilal, I think he started back in like 2000. I don't know, you can correct me on that, 12 or 13, right? So we've been mentoring in the community.
I wasn't ready to. 15.
So because collectively we've been doing it for quite some time, we get a lot of people that'll, word of mouth that'll say, hey, OBFC got some events going on. We also have alumni that come back, year after year. And of course, marketing, but we have a pretty good base as far as alumni and people that know the work that we do. We can post a program and, we can have a gang of young men that's ready to go, because of the work that we've done previously.
And I think it's just serving a real need in the community also. So what Javion is speaking to is the trust that the community has based off of our consistency and the quality of our initiatives as well. The work that we put out, the service that we do, is with real love and real care. And I think that's what helps build the trust. And each year it's not just alumni coming back. These are new boys and new families that we get to connect with, which lets us know like there's always going to be a need for this type of work. And that's also the reason why we're starting to develop others to step into these roles as we transition into our next roles in the journey as well.
Do you have a physical location, or is that something that you aspire to have? Or
yes, that is long-term goals, is to have a community center where we can host all of our events and all of our programs and initiatives as well. Right now, we just held our program through a City of Phoenix location, so they've been pretty supportive this past year in regards to what we're doing. We hope to continue to build on that relationship because they still have access to a lot of spaces that aren't being used to be able to serve a community that's being overlooked. So we do hope to continue to build on that relationship as well.
okay, thank you. And
I don't think I can hear. I can hear you, Bilal, but was somebody else talking? Because I didn't hear the question about the community center. I don't know if that's a chat or something that I'm missing.
You know what? Sometimes that does happen. You're not the first person that mentioned that.
Yeah, I can't hear you, brother.
You can't hear me? What? Bilal, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear everybody. So
yeah, I can only hear you.
Host y'all.
Interesting.
Man, you know what? This is whenever we try to get on, it's always something. So, this is powerful information. So doesn't surprise me.
That's what it is.
MelaNation,
I guarantee you, if we was on here talking about how black men don't love black women and all of this other nonsense, it'd be coming through clear then. You feel me?
Right, exactly. So the question that we were posing here, because you mentioned, the fact that we're addressing the situation, we're trying to fix the community in one way or another. What would you say are some of the most important initial steps in the process of beginning to heal the community?
I'm gonna let Thurston answer this after me. I just want to add the first step before you even think about working in the community is to work on self. Now you can do that along the way. You can continue to get better, but until you start to work on yourself, please don't come into the community and offer any service. Services that are out there for you to be able to work on yourself and get stronger. That way, what you bring to the collective is your best self. You feel me? And then from that point, you can continue to grow. But let's let our social behavior specialists answer that in detail.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I do appreciate it. And for me, working in the community, things that I notice is that we are not really educated enough to know what we're supposed to do. Right. So when I say that, we understand how to make a family, but we don't know too much about how to raise a healthy family. So I pose this because I have the Black Family Conference is actually coming up this week. And so I'm gonna just pose it to you guys here that are listening and to you guys that we're talking to. Have you ever had a job where they didn't train you at all? They just put you on the job and said, go.
Absolutely not.
Right. There is training, right? 2 weeks, 4 weeks, up training, more training, another training after that. However, when you became a parent, did you get a thick PDF guide of what it is to raise a child? How to help them reach their milestones for the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and so on?
Absolutely not.
So this is what we're seeing in our community, that because that there wasn't no outline guide for raising us, that created a lot of people to have high expectations for another person and then get frustrated when they don't live up to those expectations because that person ultimately did not know what to do. And so how we start the process is one, to be aware of this thing that has transpired across the world and multiple cultures in our community, and start to educate them on what they're supposed to do. Everyone has a function. Everyone has a duty. We always talk about it takes a village to raise a child, right? Do you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did anyone ever come to you and tell you what is your responsibility in the village to help raise these children?
Absolutely not.
See, that's where the dysfunction is. So we are expecting people to know what to do, and then we get mad at them for not taking actions. But they don't know what to do. So if we educate people and let them know the role responsibility for raising a child in their community, for being a mom, a grandma, a sister, a wife, a husband, all of those titles have functions for them. So if you don't know what your function is, then we're going to let things fall by the wayside, and that creates trauma because now I didn't know I was supposed to watch the kid. I didn't know I was supposed to do this. And then now that allows something to then affect the kids' cognitive development. And so as their cognitive development is now being tampered with, we spend all this extra time, if we catch it, to go to therapy. Now that's the buzzwords, therapy, therapy, therapy. But I believe the things that happened to us as a kid that were wrong can be reversed with what is right in our community. Love. A lot of us didn't have two-parent households, so we didn't get the full nourishment that we need to develop as a human being for both sides of the brain. We got one side. So we are not operating to our full capacity at that point, because it takes two to make one, it takes two to raise them. So my biggest thing is to help teach and educate what is lacking in our community, and then you can see it's inside of your family. And so we already addressed that there wasn't no training for upbringing for a child. So let's get you the information so you can help be a better parent, be a better person, to not only for yourself, but to your family. And then that then affects the community. But we're expecting people to help in the community, and we don't even know what they're supposed to be doing, but yelling at them for not doing anything.
Ashe, ashe, ashe.
And we need to get that information out so that people will know about, is this training that you guys present to people, or is it
Yes.
something they go through? Well,
Yes, this is. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying people need to know that you have that resource available. And I'm thinking a lot of people probably do not know in order for them to take advantage of it. So
that is very true. It gets smashed in the algorithm. So that's why we have the RBG explosion that's taking place this year, which is the 5th year. And we have been bringing education to the community. This is even before I decided to join with OBFC. They've been doing an amazing job and inspired me to reach out to them to see how I can play a part. And if for me playing a part, I then got more education to me to bring to the community. Because like Bly was saying, we're just jumping out saying we need to do something, but said we are not have been qualified to be that person to instruct on what to do. We just yell, someone do something, it's going on. How can you? But it's just like, well, did you know what is going on, what takes place, and how to actually fix this problem? Or we're just talking about the problem. Because one thing we talk about is leadership, about in our community a lot. And sometimes the loudest person speaking is not a leader, but we assume that they are the leader. And then when it's time to solve a problem, we get upset with them because we thought they were the leader, but they just was the spokesman.
all right.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Ashe.
So what lessons? Okay, because serving the community is a difficult thing. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of beauty in it as well. There's a lot of opportunity in serving the community. But what lessons have we learned, while we're in there serving the community?
Javion.
All teeth, Bilal. I'd say the lessons that we learned is not everybody gonna be with us, and that it is what it is. Everybody's gonna be on their own time. Not everybody's gonna get it. Not everybody's gonna show up at the events. Not everybody's going to have the same dedication, that we may have. You know what I mean? And that's okay. Everybody's on their own time. They might come around next week, next month, next year, right? They might just be on the low, just viewing things out, from their own perspective, but they'll come around in their own time. So I think that's a lesson, and that is not to let that discourage us from doing the work. And that goes for anybody, not to let it discourage you from doing the work just because somebody else may not be on the same frequency as you at a particular time.
I say.
Leave no one behind.
Profound.
Are you gonna blow?
No, I'm bad living. I was like, yeah.
Oh no. I'll speak up at this time. Just to piggyback of what I just said before. For me, serving this community, one thing I noticed is that I is being patient and to understand that a lot of our community, and I'm bold to say 95% of our community have been suffering from a traumatic experience that they never told anybody about. And so when we understand that our community has been suffering and going through traumatic experiences, to have grace with them. Because a lot of us didn't know and still don't know. And a lot of us have been through horrible, horrible situations in life that then altered our life. And so now that working in the community and having this information, just definitely show grace and be patient with our community, because they really don't know. They stink and they talk like they don't know, like they do know. However, they really don't know, and they're ashamed, and because of their upbringing, they weren't allowed to be vulnerable, to share and to say that, hey, I don't know and I need help.
Right.
Yes. Sounds like there's been a lot of issues that are being tackled, that are being addressed, and that are being reviewed for best practices to figure out how to combat some of these issues. And I commend the brothers, I commend OBFC for taking on that charge. And again, so the difficulties, the obstacles, what keeps you going through those adversities?
I would say what keeps me going is I just love to help people. It's just naturally who I am. This is not something that's just, and I'll probably just speak for everybody else, all the other brothers on this call. But it's just naturally who I am, just wanting to do the work, wanting to help people, wanting to put others first, even when sometimes it's, may not necessarily be the most advantageous, is, putting somebody else before me, but just wanting to do the work, and just being who I am just naturally, and not letting anything deter me from the mission.
Okay. So basically this is just your life calling.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing every time I hear this, because a lot of people look at a music rap group, hip hop group, rap group, and think it's all about the music, but that's not the story. I'm hearing this something more on a deeper level every single time when the different questions come up. The music is just a tool to reach the audience, but the passion is the community and uplifting the community, and that's just such a beautiful thing. We need more groups and more communities just like OBFC.
Yeah, we got bars for show too. Bars all day. Easy.
Right. And I'll speak for myself. I believe it's just the impact that you can make on a family, is why I decided to do this. I have a family myself. I have 4 boys. And so just growing up, my father not being there, and what now understanding what it did to me, I don't want to see that same thing continue to happen to our community. So if I can be the one just to say something that can then alter and get someone back on track, so they can be a better person for, like I said, for their family, better person at whole, and better person in the community, then I would like to do that and lend that out, because I don't personally believe that no one did that for my family when, I wasn't, when my my father wasn't there. So I want to give back to get them back on track, because I know through science, through data, statistics, what's going to happen if your parents are not involved in your life.
Right.
And that
So
actually
basically,
kind of serves as an answer for the next question as well, because that's kind of how I define the success in the work that we're doing, is how many families we're able to impact, and seeing the, you know, the results in real time, seeing the young men excel in spaces where they were once challenged at, or, you know, seeing the relationship between the child and the parent get stronger, or the husband and the wife relationship get stronger as well. So that's what I would define the success by. But also on a smaller scale, whatever I set out to do, if I complete it, whether it's the results I was looking for or not, to me that's success as well. Just going through on what you say you're gonna do.
Ashe. Debian, as far as success, how do you define success?
Overall success, or as it relates to the work that we do?
As it relates to the work that you do?
I say good. How I say I say impact that we make, right? Knowing that families are out there putting the word out because of the work that we're doing, right? I would say just us having a positive reputation. I wouldn't say that success is us, you know, having a program and we have, you know, 100, you know, young men, you know, in each program that we do. It's not really a numbers, but it's just any impact that we make for any individual child, or if we have an event, you know, and somebody goes to that event and they come out of there in a better, you know, mental state than they that they came with, that's success to me. And I would also, with everything that Bilal said, copy and paste that as well.
Do you all get a lot of feedback from the young men as to what the impact that you made to them to help change their lives?
Yeah, especially if we run into them. Just recently, one of our good brothers, brother Anthony, he ran into a young man that we mentored like 6 years ago. He was like 12 at the time. Now he's 18, you know, a young grown man now, you know, and he just you know, poured into him and told him, you know, how much the program meant to him. You know, so we definitely get the feedback from the parents, from the young men, from previous years, you know, especially if we run into them, or, you know, on social media. So we definitely get those flowers. Bilal,
Well,
I'll put you on the spot now.
No,
right.
I was just thinking about his specifically. I don't know. Yeah, I could say his name. It was John, and man, that's that whole story. I won't go too deep in it, but him, how he came to us and where he was at in his life when he came to us to see where he's at now, and I just thank God that he allowed me to be a part of that journey for him. And just, man, what did I do? Why did you let me experience something so beautiful when it comes to the growth of these young men when they're coming to us as boys, and then you see them later as young men, and you know that their parents play the biggest part, but you had like a small piece of their development in a positive way. That means everything to me.
Right. Being able to help.
It feels good to see these young men and see them grow up, and you look at them, you're like, man, yeah, you better at me in life right now, man. Like, yeah,
right. Let me call $20. Drop a 50 on me.
Yes, indeed.
Age group, as far as, you know, mentoring.
It's 8 to 17 years old, but you know, we don't necessarily have an age group when that question is asked. That's what we say. We say 8 to 17. but we've never really turned anybody away. I think the hardest part as a parent is just reaching out and coming to the accepting the fact that like you may need a little bit of assistance, and that's not even a bad thing because it's the village mentality that the family is designed for, right? The family is designed to be supported by the village. So once you get to that point as a parent that you accept that and you reach out for some sort of support, because I'm a parent myself, I know that that's hard to do. Like I said, we never turn anybody away because of that.
Okay, thank you.
So, is there any things that transpired that will cause you to do something differently?
Nope.
Right.
Nah, not at all. I feel exactly the same. It's been a wonderful journey. I can't ask for no more than this. I'll strive to do better and be better and accept whatever comes, but this is more than enough. I'm grateful.
You know, I'm going to throw this out. This just popped into my head. You know, young parents. You know, maybe having some training for young men as far as becoming parents, if that makes sense. You know, just something to think about.
Yeah, we actually covered that too as
part
well.
of our conversation. Yep.
Yeah, because I think that's needed as well.
All right. Yes, indeed. Brother, Dr. Reverend Thurston, if you
Yes,
were
sir.
able to have a conversation with yourself, let's say 10 years from now, what would you hope to hear in that conversation?
If I was to have a conversation with myself 10 years from now,
Yeah, 10 years in the future, you're speaking to your future self, and he's having a conversation with you. What are you hoping he's saying to you?
I told you can do it. I told you can do it. I think that's the main thing that I would say to myself, because like I was saying, in my environment, I wasn't told I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There isn't a lot of positivity in my community and where I was growing up. So, you know, when I did come and be positive, like I can make it out. I am gonna do this. I do want this type of car, this type of lifestyle. You know, I was shunned like, nah, I know you ain't. You can't do that. And I believed them. And so now I have more of a belief to myself. And now all the things that I'm writing down, I'm planning out, I'm executing. You know, I'm executing. You know, helping the community, making an impact, being a great father, being a pillar statement in my community. I'm doing it all. I achieve it at a very high level. And so just continuing on doing what I'm doing, looking to find, you know, ways to improve, be open to feedback and to make it better, because we definitely need a lot of help. And
Right.
so for our community to be better, I have to be better. Because you can't tell someone to be better and you don't want to do the work to change yourself. So I made a commitment to myself to be better, to learn to be better, to see how I can be a better person in all different ways. And then for me being a better person and being that person, then the community and the youth and everybody else will look at me as the change, as the spark to their change. Excuse me.
Ashe. Yes, indeed. Same question, Javion. 10 years from now, your future self comes to talk to you. What is this conversation like? You got to unmute yourself.
First, I would say my future self could say, figure out technology. That's number one. But I would say I'm proud. I would say that I would want my future self to say, I'm proud of you. You were the person you matched the good qualities that others saw in you. you were the man that you claim to be. You did the work. You put others before your selfish needs. You were a good father. You are a good father. Uh, and again, going back to what I said at first, you match the good qualities that others saw in you.
Powerful. Hey, you know what? I think I want a conversation like that. Hey, everyone wants that conversation, right?
Yeah,
Bilal, how do you answer this question here?
definitely. I want to start by saying I'd say I'm proud of you, and then I'd also say I told you so. Like I told you to relax. Everything was gonna be fine. You know what I mean? I'm glad you did, but just trust me a little bit, bro. I got this. You know what I mean? That's all. That's kind of like the conversations I have with myself all the time. You know what I mean? Just relax. It's designed perfectly to work in your favor, and don't forget that, especially in those challenging times. It's not about what happens to us, but what happens for us. You feel me?
You know what? I just realized that if I was talking to my future self, I think I just want the Powerball numbers.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with that too.
Right. All right. So we're toward the end of our session. We normally go to about 7:30. And our last thing that we generally do is get some guidance from the special guests. You know, if you can speak to our viewers, you know, from the heart, go ahead and talk to our viewers. All three of you have an opportunity. Bilal, if you can go last, that would be great. But speak to our audience, speak to our viewers, and what's in your heart.
I'll go first. Put peace first. Put happiness first. Do what you love. Don't live your life stressing yourself out over things that don't matter, no matter what that is, whether it's materialistic things or anything that's just external. Work on yourself, right? Meditate, have conversations with yourself, spend some time with yourself, right? And again, I go back to peace. Peace is what matters. Peace is what matters before anything else. And don't let external factors add extra stress to your life. And also, loan me $5 instead of Cash App. Jamie, I vision what?
Okay. Reverend Thurston, can you please speak to the audience here?
Yeah, I think from one thing for myself, I leave to the audience is question everything. Trust but verify. And do your own research. I keep it short and sweet. It's question everything, trust but verify. Do your own verification. All the information that you get, just say, oh, thank you for the information, and then do your own research.
Ashe, research is very important.
Yeah,
Especially
how control your own mind.
Say that again.
Especially to take control of your mind.
Ashe, yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
There's so much information that I believed when I was younger that turned out to be not 100% factual, right? And living and having experiences helps to mold and make you a little bit more correct than you were previously, one step forward. But Bilal, brother Bilal,
Yes,
please
sir.
speak to our audience here.
I'll just tell them, stay down with your goals. Stay down with your bros. Stay down with your family. That's the opposite of going goals. Stay down, stay humble. You know that real one's gonna eat. Stay down till you come up. That's the opposite of defeat. That's all I'll say.
Yes, sir. I'll say.
Album available, OBFConline.com.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going into our announcements. We're definitely looking for our announcements. We have the explosion coming up this weekend, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Sir.
What announcements does OBFC have?
Voices of the Movement on Friday at Grassroots Bookstore. That's the flyer that you see in the background. We got some dope artists, some dope creators coming out, some good food, and just a great vibe as well of like minds. Saturday, we got the Black Family Conference, as Brother Thurston already mentioned. that's a time for us to come together as a collective. I call it Solutionary Saturday. That's when we talk about solutions. And then Sunday we join together again in a more spiritual setting for Temple of New African Unity. That'll also be at Grassroots Bookstore. More than anything, it's going to be a dope weekend that we're going to end at Central Station Studios with a wrap-up celebration where we kind of just kick our feet up, just talk about the entire weekend, and just relax and enjoy an opportunity just to relax, which none of us on this phone call really get to do because we all workers, including the two that's interviewing us. Y'all always working and doing things in the community, so y'all know how important it is to sometimes just relax and take a moment. But yeah, RBG Explosion, 5th annual, 2026, Friday, May 15th to Sunday, May 17th. It's going down in a real way.
I
say.
And let me say, Bilal, I noticed that you are on MelaNation App a lot. I can see. So please share your information to us. So we can help.
Yeah, I can definitely do that, but I think you all have done a great job of maintaining that. And sometimes I like to just be in a different space where I can just be observing, I can support and not necessarily have to like bring what I have going on to it. Just I can support others. I like I was saying at the beginning, the best time in music for me is when I stopped pursuing it as an artist and it gave me an opportunity to be a fan. That's where it's really at for me. A lot of people look at me as like a leader or like the number one guy, but I'm a great hype man though. You feel me? I'm a great number two. Like my thing is being able to support others to make them better. You feel me? So yeah. MelaNation, y'all better get on there, download, subscribe, all of that.
Okay. What I'm saying, Mr. Bilal, is your flyers. That's all I'm saying. Flyers so we can support what you're doing. Not you personally. Just put your flyers out there so we can share that information to the community to support what you are doing. If you
I'll
don't,
do it right now.
Look, if you don't, I will, because today has changed the trajectory of our relationship. Your family now. Right. So we want to support family. That's all I'm saying.
And that being said, I want to thank the audience for watching. We're here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Arizona time. In the meantime, in between time, reach out to us on Facebook. I just got those messages from Brother Bilal. Reach out to us on Messenger. Other than that, I'd like to say peace. I appreciate everyone for joining, and I'll see you guys this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. See you this weekend. Peace and blessings.
Respect and gratitude.